Hello Vikings and welcome back to my new modded Let's Play series. Today there is quite a lot to talk about and I have some exciting news. The mod pack is now live, so if you guys would like to download this and play along at home, you can do so. There'll be a link in the description to download this mod pack. Also in the description I'll make sure is my video on how to actually install mods and use mods in case you're new to that or just unfamiliar with the process. Just before we start guys, once you start this mod pack up you won't be able to jump in game and I'm going to show you how to fix that really quickly. So you just need to go into the Kysen pack on the mod manager and go down to config editor. Then search here for better and you'll see this better UI config. Click that and go edit config. Now there's quite a lot of different stuff going on here, but what we're going to do is just scroll down until we find the XP bar bit. So let me show you where that is. Okay, here we go. So this one right here, show character XP, and if we click here you can select true or false. Now right now if you haven't changed yours it should be set to true, but by changing it to false it will mean you're able to jump in game. Now I don't know why this works guys, but it does. So if you want to fix your jump and still use this mod, that is how you do it. Now just to say, I will update this mod pack whenever I can so that when you guys are playing with it at home it is the correct version. However, what I'm going to show you now is what you need to do just to make sure of that. Basically this is just a very quick method to make sure that you're using the most updated version of each of the mods in this pack, which is the best way to play not just this mod pack but really any mod pack or any mod that you are playing with. So I'll quickly show you how to do that and then we'll jump right back into this world. So obviously for the Kysen pack there are many more mods than this, but the same thing happens as you're seeing on screen right here, and that is that you get this yellow box right here telling you how many mod updates you have available, and all you have to do is left click where it says update all. So if you download my mod pack, do be sure to just check this before you start up your modded journey, and then if anything needs updating, please do update it. So I wanted to start off today by explaining a few things that you're seeing on screen right here. So first of all, if I press escape, I can go ahead and hover over this one and drag it around with my mouse to move it around. Now this right here is a hotbar from the mod called Magic Overhaul, which we're actually going to start off by getting into today. So the way you get into this mod, the first thing that you have to do is go ahead and craft one of these things, a Forsaken Altar. You'll see here there's actually no build cost to make this thing, but it is for admin use only. Now what that means is if you were on a server, you would not be able to place this unless you're an admin of that server. So obviously that's sort of up to them to place one for everybody to use. But if you're playing in your own single player world, you'll have no problem. You just left click and then it looks a little bit like this and you go ahead and place it down like you would any other build piece. So we're just going to chuck ours down here like that. There we go. And here it is. Here is our magic altar. So when you walk up to this thing, you can press E to access the class menu. And currently we have no class selected, so it just says none. If we scroll through by clicking on these buttons right here, we can have a look at what the different classes are, as well as what their special abilities are. Another thing we can do, if I move the UI just up here where we can see it more easily and go back to this class menu, I can change the UI style here. So if I left click, you'll see this has changed a bit. There we go. So got like a bit of a dragon on it right now. Or we can have this one here, this like move in circle thing, or this one here. So there's a few different ones that we can use. I kind of like this one here as it doesn't take up too much of the screen, and you can actually toggle how big it is as well by doing this. So by moving the mouse around you can give all different like dimensions and orientations and stuff like that. I kind of like it just like this, and just down at the bottom here next to my other things, which I'm going to come on to what these do in a moment. Now I just noticed this was set to the wrong thing, and it actually brings me on to my next point. I can click this right here and I can choose any key I want to hotkey this skill, and you'll see that when I update this to a 5 right here, it actually updates down here in the hotbar itself. And I'm going to show you how to use these skills in a bit, but for now I just want to set this back to 1. So basically the hotkeys there 1, 2, 3 and 4, and so for example if we chose Archer, this would be number 1, 2, 3 and 4 that would be down here, and I'm going to come on to how we use those in just a second. But one more thing to mention is this area right here, which if we left click brings up this Magic Overhaul feedback form. So if you have any feedback you want to give to the mod author, you can do that through here. Now down in the description I'm going to put a link to the Magic Overhaul mod page, which has all the information very easily available to show you what each of these things does. However, the class that I want to start with is this right here, the Berserker, and the biggest reason for that is its passive skill. So every class is set up the same way, where skills 1 and 2 are skills that you can use. Skill number 3 is just passive and happens in the background, and skill number 4 is a toggle on or off. Now the reason I like this one to start out with is mainly because of the passive skill, as I said, which is infinite stamina. That is so OP early game, it's really going to help us out. So when I know the class that I want, so in this case Berserker, you just go ahead and hit change class down here, and you'll see your hotbar updates to give you all of the skills. Now I'm going to make this nice and big for a second, just so you guys can see it on screen. There we go, nice and big to show different things about what we're looking at here. So of course along the top 1, 2, 3 and 4, these are the hotkeys, although the hotkey for your passive skill isn't overly important. This down here, this number here, 20, 20 and 12, this is the mana cost, and this down the bottom here is the mana that you have left. So let me go ahead and give you a bit of a demonstration. Let's go and open that GUI back up. So these are the different skills of course, and you can see here the skill that is hotkey to number 1 will unleash a Projectile Tornado. So let me go ahead and show you what that does. Let's come over here and press Alt 1 and boom, there it goes. the tornado has been set upon us. So what that does is if you're getting a lot of projectiles coming your way, when you Alt-1, it will actually tornado these out of the way. Now, I will say I'm currently using a public test version of the Magic Overhaul mod, and there could be a couple of issues. One that I'm noticing is my mana doesn't seem to be going down. If I go ahead and do like an Alt-1 and an Alt-2 and an Alt-4, there's just things happening. Oh, there we go. Okay, that did go down. And it's going down pretty quickly over time. Now, number 4, instantly, when you're the Berserker, is a faster attack. So you see here, if I left click, this is how quick my axe is moving. If I go ahead and Alt 4, and now I hit, you can see how quickly I can hit and do a lot of damage to enemies. And I can Alt 4 again to turn that off, and then it does its cooldown period, and the mana starts to regen. Now, one thing I'm wondering is if this works on trees. And if it does, this is definitely the best class for early game. I already think it is, but let's have a look. Okay, so we've done this, and now... oh my goodness, yes, we can absolutely rinse through this tree. That is so cool. So I already feel like Berserker is the best class to use for the early game with the Magic Overhaul mod, but now that I've seen you can cut trees that much quicker, I'm absolutely convinced. So this is a pretty OP mod for sure. You can change like how OP it is and stuff in the configs if you want. So all of the values here, the cooldowns and the mana use and stuff like that can be changed in the configs. One other thing to mention is let's go ahead and open up the VNEI right here. Now, if you type in the name of your class, so I've started to type in Berserker, you'll see there's a couple of items here that are special to that class. Let me just kill Karen and then I'll explain what I was saying. Okay, that's awesome. We actually got a ruby gemstone from killing Karen, and this is to do with the Jewelcraft mod. And Jewelcrafting is something I'm going to get into later on in today's episode. So the fact that we got that is actually really, really cool. Now, back to what I was talking about. If we look at the Berserker, which is obviously the name of our class, you'll see there are a couple special items here. Now, as you can see, these special items, it says there in the information, they have to be used with your class. If you use it with a different class, then you're actually going to get a penalty. But when you are a Berserker and you use the Berserker items, you actually get some benefits to them. So that's pretty cool. Now, as you can see, the Berserker helmet here, it's pretty late game. You do need black metal for it. And again, I believe all these recipes and things are configurable in the configs, of course. As for the sword, it's not as bad. You can make that a little bit earlier in the game as you don't need black metal. You just need to get into the Iron Age for that. So that's pretty cool. Now, this Magic Overhaul mod is pretty complex and it's an awesome mod, guys. It really is. I've been looking into it and I'm very excited to keep playing with this as we go through. But I think a tutorial just on this mod is actually quite warranted. So I may make one of those soon, but this is like an introduction today and something we'll be using throughout this series. So definitely worth a mention in today's video. So some other things to explain on screen. Next to the Magic Overhaul mod, you'll see we have Z, V, and B item slots. So if I open my inventory, you'll see here we have these Z, V, and B slots, and we also have slots here for all of our armor. So if I go ahead and right click this tunic to take it off, you'll see it comes back over here into our inventory, and then when we equip it again, it'll simply go over here. And there we go. So it saves us a slot in our inventory basically for all this stuff. Now the Z, V, B are just 3 extra hotkeys, so you can use that for food if you wanted, you could use it for potions, whatever you like really. But now when I'm out here, if I go ahead and hit Z, I'm going to eat my apple. So I've basically just got 3 extra hotkeys from doing that. Again, these are configurable as to what hotkeys you want to set them to, I believe, down in the configs. I'm pretty happy with ZVB. Now, one thing I'm noticing is with these apples, let's say I put them in Z and then I try and take them back out. It looks like you can't. I try and left click here, nothing happens. If I right click, it just tries to eat them. So what you can do is hold down Control and then left click to throw the item onto the floor, then go ahead and of course pick it back up and they'll be back in your normal inventory. So that's the way of getting it out. I'm not sure if that's a bug, but that's just how we do it for now. So I believe that now covers all the things on screen you're seeing. They're a little bit different now that we're doing the modded version of Valheim. So one other mod I want to talk about is it's a slight issue in this pack at the moment, and I'm going to work on fixing it. But for now, I'm just going to sort of explain it to you and tell you a couple little workarounds. Now, if I go ahead and press the P key, you'll see that a teleportation thing comes up on screen. And if we wait just a second, then we've gone ahead and teleported back to our bed, okay, back to our campsite. Now, if I were to go ahead and press L right now, once again, the teleportation thing will come up. And if I wait a second, then you can see here I've teleported back to where I was before I pressed the P key. Now, this is a mod called Take Me Home, and it's not been updated in a year, so I'm not sure if this is going to be worked on, and that's why I'm saying we might need to find a workaround. Now, the reason it might need a workaround is because when you go into VNEI, if you go to search something here, let's say I want to search for a cloak, so I go CL, well, as soon as I hit L, I start to teleport away. Now, that's, you know, a bit annoying. You can't use the VNEI, but the other thing that's annoying is let's just wait until we come back in, and here we go. I'm pressing WAS right now, I'm clicking, I'm using spacebar, but nothing is really happening. So at this stage, what I have to do is actually log out and then log back in. So this really just depends on personal preference as to whether you are worried about using the VNEI search bar or not, because if you're not, then obviously it doesn't really matter. However, if you are, then it's going to get annoying because you can't search anything that has a P or an L in it, so you might want to let's change it. Now, what you can do is on the Thunderstorm mod manager, you can just disable this mod, or you can even just delete it entirely if you wish. I have tried changing the configs for this mod. It says there's all different keys that you can change it to, so you don't have to use a P or an L. You could use, for example, like a backslash or a $. However, I've tried like a huge range of different keys for this, this, and no matter what I do, it always resets to P and L. So I think it might be because the mod hasn't been updated in such a long time. So we're going to try and find alternatives to this. We do have teleport everything in the pack. So once you make portals, you can actually teleport everything through portals, like all your metals and stuff like that. Of course, this might seem a bit OP, but do remember this is, of course, modded Valheim, not vanilla. So we do have OP things in here. But apologies for that. Definitely want to mention that so that you guys know what's going on there. And this is the first time I've put together a mod pack. So yeah, apologies for making a mistake or two. I'm sure I'll have made a few along the way. And whenever I spot them, or if you guys spot them and let me know, then I'll be sure to pass on that information in my videos. Now, today I want to get into Jewelcrafting, which is one of the mods we have, and that's where these things come from here. So this mod actually allows you to upgrade your equipment by collecting these gemstones and using a gem cutters table and all that sort of stuff that we're going to get into later on in today's episode. Now, obviously, with having better equipment, we can do things faster, more efficiently, whatever. And so that's why I want to get into it early on, because the earlier we get into it, the more benefit we're going to get through our playthrough. However, in order to collect those crystal formation things that we're seeing all over the meadows here, and you will see them in different biomes incidentally, and you get different types of crystals in different biomes, but we are going to need a pickaxe in order to smash these and collect them up. So that means we're going to need to fight Eikthyr, and to that end, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and collect a ton of different resources so I can get myself geared up and ready to fight Eikthyr. Alright guys, I'm going into this somewhat blind, but we're going to go do an Eikthyr fight. So I don't know how difficult Eikthyr may be with the mods we have installed, but let's just go and have a little bit of fun with it. So all I've got on me is a rag tunic and some leather pants, and I've got a few different types of arrows here, and my bow, just a usual crude bow. Oh, there's a horse attacking me. Ah, hello. These come out of nowhere all the time. They're actually kind of annoying. I need to learn how to tame them. Just had a slight rethink. I'm going to head back to my house and make my crude bow. I'm going to upgrade it. There was a horse again. They're literally everywhere. Yeah, I'm just going to upgrade the crude bow if we can, and we're missing one deer hide. So this is kind of interesting. I want to upgrade my crude bow, and I don't have the deer hide on me because it's in a chest just over here. However, because of the smart containers mod, it recognizes that it's there, and when I go on the crude bow, if I hit upgrade, it will upgrade it. If I compare that to, say, an orca rope right here, you'll see that this flashes red because it's saying you don't have enough materials at all. Whereas this one here flashes yellow because we do have enough materials, they're just not on us. Incidentally, the orca rope is really fun and something we'll definitely look at later on. I mentioned in episode 0 about how we have different animals and we have a sea animals mod, and the orca rope is going to allow us to actually ride around on whales and things, so it's pretty fun. Definitely keen to try that mod out, but for now, let's go ahead and do the Eikthyr fight. So I brought a load of deer trophies, just all the ones I had. I'm not sure if it costs more to spawn him in or not. We're literally just going into this blind together and see what happens. So here we go. We're going to spawn him in. It was still just the 2 deer trophy. Let's get our bow ready. Let's eat any food we can. Of course, I've only got health food because I currently have the infinite stamina, so, there's no point having any stamina foods. Now, there he is over there. Looks like his health isn't showing up in the way it does in traditional Valheim, so I guess we just keep attacking him. And yeah, that's a bit weird, actually. So I'm just doing this fight in the same way I would with vanilla, where I'm just going through the forest to slow him down on the trees, and we're using the fire arrows first as they do a fair bit of damage to him. So we'll just see how we go throughout this fight. I'm not going to put the whole fight uploaded because it's probably a bit boring. By now, a lot of you have probably done this fight many times, like myself, but it will be interesting what drops we're going to get from him as well. Oh, there we go, guys. I killed him without even realizing. It's so weird when he doesn't have the health like he normally does to notice when he's dead, but there we go. He is indeed dead. Oh, we have definitely got some new drops here, so this could be quite interesting. I just want to make sure I've got everything from him. I think I have, and then we'll see what all of this is. Alrighty, guys. So here's the stuff that we've got. We got obviously the Eikthyr trophy as always, but then we got some new stuff as well. So we got ourselves Eikthr's lightning, and it says they're a gem which contains Eikthr's lightning, and it cannot be teleported. Not sure though, because the mod we have, maybe it can. We'll have to find out. And I'm not really sure what this does just yet, but I'll definitely find that out and explore that at some point. And we also have this crystal fusion box. It says here a simple fusion box. You can socket 2 gemstones into the box to attempt to merge them. Okay, that's really cool. So I know then for this, the crystal fusion box, that's definitely to do with Jewelcraft when it talks about socketing gemstones and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, some pretty cool items there. I've got a bit of a makeshift work area at the moment, so we'll go ahead and store all this stuff for now, and I'll go and hang out through at spawn, and we'll see if we get any new abilities. I should also mention we did of course get the 3 antlers as well from Eikthyr, which is the most important thing, so we can go and collect all those gemstones that I mentioned earlier. So we're just heading up to the spawn area now, so let's go ahead, hang up the Eikthyr trophy and see what we get. So there we go. Jump usage, stamina down 60%, and the same for running. I'm not sure actually if that's different to vanilla or not. I've got a feeling vanilla might be 40%, so maybe it's an extra 20%. But as we're a berserker and we have infinite stamina, it really doesn't matter. The only reason I wanted to kill Eikthyr was to get those antlers and now go out and collect a load of gemstones. So the next thing to do is go ahead and craft up a Antler Pickaxe for ourselves. And I believe now all I have to do is give these gemstones a bit of a whack and they will break. So let's test it out on this one and see. Well, I'm certainly doing some damage to it as I hit away, and 3 hits, and there we go. Did we get something? Oh, we did indeed. So there we go. We're picking up some emerald gemstones, and these then have to be processed and other things have to be done to them, but this is the sort of first step. So I'm now going to go crazy. I'm just going to go around and just mine so many different gemstones. I don't know like how many I need or whatever, but we're just going to get a ton of these and then kind of go from there. So once we've collected a ton of different gemstones, so like emerald, ruby, onyx, all the rest of them, the next thing that we'll need to do is make up one of these things. It's a gem cutters table. I have to say it looks absolutely awesome, doesn't it? And then we'll open that up and see what it's all about. So I'm pretty excited to get into this mod. I'm going to go now and do a right grind session of getting all the different rubies and emeralds and things, and then we'll come back in and see what we can do with them. Incidentally, it's worth mentioning these gemstone formations will respawn. So basically you might want to keep them marked on your map after you harvest them. Alrighty guys, I've gone and got an absolute ton of different gems, as you can see, and we're going to place down the gem cutters table right now, and it's going to give us here a load of different recipes. It's actually quite exciting to get into this. So now we're just going to go ahead and in this chest right here is where we've got all these different colored gems. So I'm just going to delete this and pick everything up, and I'm just going to move all over here so then it's all near the crafting station when we need it. So let's open this up and see what it looks like. Okay, great. So we have here different things that we can craft up, as you can see, simple basically variations of all the different gems we have. And on top of that, you can add a socket to the different equipment and things that we have on us. Okay, we've actually got an event happening right now, so I guess I'll have to take care of this and I'll be back in a bit. All right, we just about managed to deal with that. So let's go back into the gem cutters table here and take a look at the Jewelcraft mod. So I'm going to put all my gems in here, and with these smart storage containers, we'll still be able to craft with them from in here. Now, emerald is the thing that I have the most of. I've got like 66 of them. So what I want to do is just craft a simple emerald and see what happens. Okay, there we go. So now you can make an advanced emerald and emerald shards out of this stuff. That's pretty cool. It says over here you have a 30% chance to cut the gem successfully, and if it fails, the gem will be destroyed. And when it's destroyed, you get these shard things that I've got in my inventory up here. So let's try that a few more times. Okay, we destroyed it and got the shards again. Hey, there we go. That was better than the odds predicted. There we go. So now we have a simple emerald. And now we can have a go at an advanced emerald, and this has only got a 20% chance. Let's see if we get lucky or not. Oh my goodness, we actually did. We got really lucky. So we now have an advanced emerald. That's very lucky indeed. Now, it says over here about how you can socket things onto the different items that we have here. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but we're going to be using our pickaxe a lot. So let's just try adding a socket to this and see what happens. It says here you have a 50% chance to add a socket, and if it fails, the item will be destroyed. So we're either going to socket this or we're going to lose our pickaxe. Wish me luck, guys. Let's see what happens. Oh, it works. Okay, wonderful. It worked. There we go. That's awesome. So when I click the socket button here, it opens up this right here. Now, when I look at the recipes over here, so for example, this is the simple onyx, of course. They all say the same thing, that they're gemstones which can be socketed into an equipment piece to unlock the power within. Now, if I hover over this right here, this is the advanced emerald. So this is something we could socket in to the pickaxe. It has these different abilities. I'm not sure exactly what these abilities do. So this is something that we're going to need to play around with a little bit and see what we can find out. So I'd like to say a huge thank you to a guy called Grave Bear on the Odin Plus Discord who showed me what I'm about to show you guys. So if I press tab and go up here to my Raven, then I can go down here to the socket effects. And this tells me absolutely everything that I need to know about the different gems. So this is so useful, guys. And if you're looking to find out more about this mod, then this is the place to be. So I've been having a look through a few of these, and some of them seem really interesting, such as making an item unbreakable to decrease its durability loss. And the Hercules is pretty cool as well to increase carry weight. So I'm not sure how that works. Maybe if we give an item Hercules, we actually can carry more in our inventory. Most of these are really useful for like weapons and armor and stuff like that, though. I will say that. So I think for the pickaxe that we're looking to upgrade, our options are a little bit more limited. That's not necessarily a bad thing. And I think I'll try the Hercules because we already have one of these. So that is this right here, the simple spinal. So we go to the gem cutters table, and on the socket section right here, we can click on our pickaxe and click on socket. And now I think we just put this simple spinal down in here, and let's see what this does. And yes, there we go. When I hover over this, it now says unbreakable 40, and we can press E on the item to actually go to the socket in a quicker way. So basically, when I hover over the simple spinal, you can see there it says for a tool, it's unbreakable 40. So that's what's going to happen if you put it on a tool like this. So there we go. Our pickaxe now has better durability. And as you can see, it was pretty simple to do this and a really good way to just upgrade our early game tools, weapons, armor, all that sort of stuff. So an absolutely fantastic mod. I'm going to get into a load more of this and upgrade a load more of my armor and weapons and stuff, because as I say, doing this early game just makes total sense to me. So I think we can call that an enchanting end to a magical episode. Believe it or not, that wasn't the dad jokes. They're still coming. They're at the end of the video, guys. So yes, the dad jokes are coming. Hopefully between this episode and episode 0, you've got a bit of information to get you started with this mod pack. But of course, as I continue the playthrough, I will update you guys with any new information as required. And of course, if you spot something or if you have a question, do let me know down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer your concerns. But for now, I just want to say thanks for watching, guys. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and here come the jokes. Some aquatic mammals at the zoo escaped. It was utter chaos. Why did the baseball player get arrested? He stole third base. The Grim Reaper just got fired from the shoe factory. It was stealing everybody's souls. The inventor of the USB stick has died. Thanks for the memory.